Welcome to the Deep Dives. This is where we take your sources, sift through them, and pull out the really key insights for you. Today we're diving into something lots of you are probably thinking about. Task management apps. It's a crowded space. Yeah, specifically, we're setting up a kind of head-to-head between a newer player, Neuron Tasks, and, well, the established giant, Todoist. You sent over some really great stuff on both, so our goal today is to unpack, how they think, what makes them tick, and hopefully help you figure out which one might win the race for how you work. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be looking at how both of them promise to, bring some clarity to your day and help you get things done. What's really interesting, I think, is the different roads they take. Neuron Tasks is all in on this, like cutting-edge AI.
Right.
Whereas Todoist is really leaning on its, years of refinement, that simplicity, and its massive user base. So, yeah, we're not aiming to pick the winner overall, but more to give you the info to see which one wins for your specific situation.
Okay, so let's start right there with their basic promises. Neuron Tasks calls itself an intelligent to-do list, and also your personal productivity hub. Their big line seems to be helping you stop managing tasks and start achieving them. Very goal-oriented.
Exactly. And then you've got Todoist positioning itself pretty boldly as the world's hashtag one to-do list app. Their aim, helping, 50 million plus professionals simplify work and life and get clarity, finally.
Clarity, yeah, that's a big theme for them.
It really is. And it sets up this fundamental question, doesn't it? Do you want a tool that's primarily about smart AI-driven assistance, or one that's been honed over a decade to feel almost like part of your own thinking? It's like AI brain versus extension of your brain.
That's a great way to put it. And that AI part, that's where Neuron Tasks really seems to want to differentiate itself. Tell us about these smart reminders. What's smart about them?
Well, they're not just timed alerts. Neuron's AI actually tries to learn your patterns.
Oh.
It looks at your past activity, when you tend to complete certain types of tasks, your workload, and then it suggests the best time to remind you. The idea is to hit you when you're most likely to act on it.
Okay, interesting. Less nagging, more strategic nudging.
Kind of, yeah. And it goes further with AI-powered task creation. You just type like you normally would, maybe something messy.
Like get slides for Tuesday meeting to Bob.
Exactly. And the AI is meant to parse that out. It understands Tuesday meeting is the context, Bob might be a tag or collaborator, and Tuesday is the due date, automatically.
That could save some clicks.
Definitely. They also have email to task, which is pretty standard, but also task journaling and voice memos with AI transcription, so you can just talk your tasks into existence.
Voice memos, okay. And what about those custom automations? You mentioned a visual builder.
Yeah, it lets you set up if this, then that type rules. So like, if I complete this specific task, then automatically send a notification to a specific Slack channel using a webhook.
Connecting tools together. So it's about embedding the task management into your other workflows.
Precisely. It points to a real focus on AI driving the workflow, not just managing the list itself.
Okay, so Neuron's got its AI front and center. How does Todoist handle the smart stuff? They've always been known for natural language input, haven't they?
They have for a long time. You type meet Sarah next Wednesday at 2 p.m. tag meetings, and bam, it gets it. Sets the date, time, adds the tag. It feels very fluid.
Why? It just understands.
Yeah. They talk about smart features that feel magical, and they have something called Todoist Assist. It seems to work more behind the scenes. It helps turn maybe scattered ideas or notes into actionable plans. So connecting it back. Neuron shouts about its AI features, lists them out. Todoist seems to weave its intelligence more subtly into the core experience. It's there to assist, not necessarily to be a distinct separate feature you consciously use all the time.
Gotcha. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Most people work in teams, or at least share tasks sometimes. How do they stack up on collaboration?
Neuron Tasks calls it seamless collaboration. You can invite people to specific tasks, which is interesting.
Specific tasks, not just projects.
Yeah, and you can assign roles like editor or viewer. So pretty granular control over who does what on a task-by-task basis. They also have subtasks, obviously, for breaking things down, and calendar integration Google Calendar, or just using a standard .ics file link.
Okay. And Todoist, their site mentions teamwork.
Right. Todoist seems to frame it more around shared projects or spaces. They talk about giving a home for your team's tasks, separate from your personal stuff. They really emphasize project management and have this huge library, over 50 templates, apparently.
Templates for what kind of things?
Oh, all sorts. Accounting tasks, business travel packing, deep work routines, meeting agendas. You name it, they probably have a starting point for it.
So that raises a different kind of choice, doesn't it?
It does. Are you looking for that really fine-grained control over who can edit this specific task? That sounds like Neuron. Or do you need a broad set of starting points for common projects and dedicated team areas? That sounds more like Todoist.
Makes sense. Now, what about just using them?
Yeah.
Day in, day out, the user experience. Neuron have this productivity dashboard, you said, with charts.
Yeah, visual data. Charts showing weekly completions, how tasks break down by priority. Some people find that really motivating, seeing the progress visually.
A bit like gamification.
A little bit, perhaps. Todoist, their language focuses more on achieving mental clarity, getting stuff out of your head. They make a big deal of sorting tasks easily into today, upcoming, or using custom filters you create. The focus is on confident planning due dates, calendar view, recurring tasks that just work.
And that history you mentioned earlier plays into the UX too, right? That feeling of stability.
Absolutely. They literally stayed on their site. We've been building Todoist for 18 years and 163 days. That's incredibly specific.
Huh. Yeah, it is.
And they add that they will never sell out to the highest bidder. They're clearly positioning themselves as reliable, trustworthy, here for the long haul.
That longevity, it does suggest something.
Yeah.
But, does being around that long with such a huge user base maybe make it harder to be nimble, to add really cutting-edge stuff quickly without upsetting people? Could that be Neuron's advantage?
That's a really sharp point. Stability versus agility, right?
Yeah.
Todoist has, 30+ million app downloads, 2+ billion tasks completed, 1+ million pro users. That's massive. And 374K plus 5-star reviews. Clearly, they've delivered value consistently for a very long time. People trust it. But yeah, the potential trade-off could be a slower pace for adopting brand new, maybe disruptive features compared to a younger company like Neuron that might be built around that very innovation.
Okay, so the million-dollar question, maybe the few dollars a month question.
Yeah.
Pricing. How do people get started?
Neuron Tasks lays it out very clearly. There's a free plan, good for trying it out, up to 100 tasks, one collaborator.
Standard stuff for free tiers.
Pretty much. Then standard is $4 a month. That unlocks unlimited tasks, the AI reminders, automations, email parsing, and up to 5 collaborators. Seems like their main individual small team tier.
And premium.
That's $7 a month. Adds advanced webhooks, so more powerful integrations, priority support, and unlimited everything else, basically files and collaborators. Pretty straightforward tiers.
Okay, clear enough. What about Todoist? What did the sources say about their pricing?
Well, this is where it gets a bit frustrating based on what we have. The sources repeatedly say start for free and mention there is pricing, but they don't actually detail the paid tiers. No specific prices, no clear breakdown of what features unlock at which level beyond the free one.
Oh, that's not very helpful for comparing, is it?
Not really. For someone trying to weigh the options based just on this material, Neuron is much more transparent about what you get for your money. That lack of detail from Todoist in these sources is a definite gap.
Right. Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've dug into Neuron Tasks with its very upfront, feature-rich AI approach to the smart reminders, learning your habits, AI creating tasks, even voice transcription, plus those specific collaborator roles and clear pricing.
Yeah, the intelligent assistant model. And then Todoist, leveraging its, decades of experience, focusing on that feeling of mental clarity, using natural language really well, offering tons of project templates, and banking on that huge, loyal user base and proven reliability. Its AI, Todoist Assist, feels more integrated, less like a separate bolt-on.
So the winner isn't really about the apps themselves, is it? It's about the user.
Exactly. It comes down to your priorities. Are you looking for something pushing the boundaries of AI to actively manage your workflow, maybe automate more complex things that might lean Neuron? Or do you value, perhaps above all else, a super refined, incredibly reliable tool that feels natural and intuitive, backed by a massive community and history? That could point towards Todoist.
And thinking about that AI evolution, here's something to chew on as you go organize your day. How much smartness do you actually want in a task manager? Is there a point where too much AI starts to feel like overkill or maybe even gets in the way? Or is more intelligence always better for getting things done effortlessly? Something to think about.